Joey.
Vic, the appraiser.
Make this guy understand that he's going to be working for us. Cement or everything.
Let's talk about the Lupertazzi crime family, particularly in comparison to the DiMeo family. Carmine Lupertazzi Sr. was the longtime boss of the Lupertazzi family. He was a level-headed leader who had no interest in making westerns here.
Is clipping him gonna unring that bell?
Nobody's getting clipped.
The most important thing was the money, which meant that there could always be a compromise in order to keep business operating smoothly.
There are millions of dollars at stake.
Again with the money?
Yeah, again with the money. It's settled, John. So either name a price or get the fuck over it.
This included getting rid of people when absolutely necessary, which is what almost happened when Johnny Sack insisted on killing Ralph Cifaretto for making the joke about his wife, Ginny, until he had a last-minute change of heart.
I want him dead, Jimmy says. He will be, but not just right now. He earns too much. 8 years later, Jimmy gets a call. But that guy we were talking about, he can go. And that was Carmine Lupertazzi.
Why fuck around? Be a better friend to us. Don doesn't wear shorts.
We forget that in the old days, the ones that came over that started this thing, they didn't get mad. They just smiled and nodded and made sure you got it later. That's the whole beautiful point. You know what they say? Revenge is like serving cold cuts.
I appreciate your thoughts.
You saying what I think you're saying?
I didn't say nothing.
And speaking of John, let's go to our next section, an ambitious underboss. John Sacrimoni, aka Johnny Sack, was underboss of the Lupertazzi family for many years before becoming boss until his death from cancer while serving his prison sentence. When we first meet Johnny Sack in season 1, he's seen as diplomatic and pragmatic, like when he helped settle the issue of Junior trying to tax Hesh.
Now he's got a point. Bottom line is, what are we gonna do about this?
Something tells me you have a suggestion.
But it's clear that he had his eye on the top spot. There really was no official underboss of the DiMeo family. In terms of the second in command, we tend to think of Silvio Dante, Tony's consigliere, who did take over as acting boss while Tony was hospitalized in early season 6. But, and this is the most important thing, still had no grand ambition to take the top spot, and certainly not after he got a glimpse of what it would look like in practice.
If something were to happen to him, God forbid, all of this unpleasantness would just...
John, Carmine's fine.
Yes. He's very healthy. Thank God.
While Johnny was known as a pragmatist and a greedy motherfucker, according to little Carmine, he became increasingly hot-headed as time went on, up to the point of planning to assassinate Carmine Sr., the boss of his own family, so that he could be in charge and get his way.
It's smart to have reservations, but there's differences between this and Castellano. What would it take?
Your father meant a lot to all of us, and not just financially either.
Jimmy Petriel was a cooperator. Brooklyn AUSA took down the whole Petriel crew, plus Johnny. Would have reached all the way to Carmine Sr. if he hadn't died.
Jimmy Petriel?
In contrast to the many ineffective rats in the DiMeo family, it was about quality, not quantity. Jimmy Petriel, from the Lupertazzi family, gave the feds 18 years worth of information.
He's a sweet old guy.
I'd say the closest equivalent to Jimmy Petriel on the DiMeo side would be Ray Curto, if Ray had actually given them enough information to indict Tony.
He gave them gambling, homicides, trafficking, 18 fucking years worth.
What do you want, John?
And if you look back, you begin to see that this guy really was kind of hiding in plain sight.
Oh, whoa. Philly, why don't you go have a drink? Don't tell me what to do, Jimmy.
And then, of course, his ironic comment, your father meant a lot to all of us, and not just financially either. Like, regarding criminal matters.
Now, you gotta give him some slack. He hasn't really been boss of a family very long.
The Lupertazzi family is much larger than the DiMeo family and has been around longer, so they don't necessarily see the DiMeo family as their equal peers.
Did you hear the news? Pork chop out in Jersey got pinched on a weapon charge.
Drops a gat in a field somewhere. Jersey. Fucking farmers, I don't know.
Feelings make things financially unfeasible.
Charles Schwab over here. Family. I told you. They're a glorified crew.
Not that Carmine would say that to Tony's face, though. He's more diplomatic than that. But just because a family's been around longer, that doesn't mean that everyone in that family knows how to play the game better. Or do they?
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there?
All right, then.
Whatever happened there?
Do we just not necessarily understand the game?
Of course, no one wants all-out conflict. But historically, historical changes have come out of war.
Not only was there infighting after Carmine Sr.'s death, but then once again, following the death of Johnny Sack, when there was a void at the top and a new boss was needed.
Anyway, your taste. How's Patricia? You mind? Go ahead.
Phil gave Doc his taste, but Doc got greedy and wanted more.
Should we get some more wine?
All due respect, he's a great guy, Doc, but boss material.
Jerry Torsiano didn't see Doc as boss material, and Doc didn't want to see Jerry Torsiano as any material.
Lorraine, you're looking good.
Yeah, keeping it together with Pilates and gin.
Lady Shylock, she's got some reputation, as we've heard.
So, Paulie, how's it hanging?
Still got the nice manners, eh?
Yeah, my mother said that might happen.
We only got a brief look for ourselves, though.
Sorry, we're not open.
What, not open? A man in your position turn away fucking business now?
I didn't know it was you, Lorraine.
She's tough, but not tough enough to continue getting her way without punishment after the death of Carmine Sr.
What do you do, huh? You kick up to little Carmine? Tape her.
No! Little Carmine, he was my father's friend!
When she says Carmine was my father's friend, it kind of reminds me of when Jackie Jr. tried to use his father as a way to get out of trouble after the card game. Even though Tony was disciplined enough to not shit where he ate in Italy with Annalisa, apparently at some point in the past, that rule didn't apply when it came to Lady Shylocks from Brooklyn, like Lorraine Caluso. Finally.
I haven't wanted to do this, but it's gotta be.
Thanks for watching. What do you think about the Lupertazzi family? I'd love to hear from you.